Hello, my name is Modek-san. You are now entering a Modek facility. Welcome on board. In this film, we'll present some valuable information so that your stay on this unit is a safe one. It is the policy of Modek to conduct all business activities in a responsible manner, which assures the health, safety, and security of people, preservation of the environment, quality of the products and services, and compliance with all legal requirements in countries where we operate. Our policy is applicable to Modek, all its subsidiaries, and their subcontractors as appropriate. We are also committed to our client's HSEQ policy. If you have any questions, discuss with the vessel's safety advisor and he or she will help clarify the policy. The Modek's corporate HSEQ management system is certified to the International Code of Safety Management, ISM, ISO 14001, OHSAS 18001, and ISO 9001, allowing Modek to provide assurances to customers through management practices that support safe management while protecting the environment. In addition, Modek is committed to continuous improvement. Our goal is zero loss incidents. All loss incidents are preventable. Remember to report all incidents to your supervisor and always evaluate HSEQ risks and conditions associated with your work, knowing your right to stop any work if necessary. Know our role inside the vessel is crucial in the event of an emergency. After this presentation, the crew will provide updated information on the operational status of the facility, its safety equipment and life-saving equipment, as well as healthcare equipment. Here, discipline is the key factor. It is very important that we work in a consistent manner, respecting the rules and procedures. If you have any ideas to improve our processes, speak with your supervisor. Upon arrival on board, you'll receive an identification card with your data and muster point information, where you should go in the event of an emergency. There, you should put your identification card in the T card rack, indicated by the person accompanying you. Then you'll learn about your lifeboat, which has its own hull external deluge system, and the inflatable rafts, which can also be used in the event of an emergency. It is also important to know about the station bill, which is located in the vessel's corridors. Please note what your assigned role will be in the event of an emergency. In the event of an emergency, immediately call the vessel's emergency number. While you work in this facility, other people are sleeping because they work an opposite shift. So avoid making noise when in the accommodation area. Always walk on the right side of stairs and corridors. When using the stairs, always use the handrail, both when ascending and descending. For everyone's comfort, restrict the use of the telephone or radio for communicating, saying only what is strictly necessary. Be brief in the message and only use the word urgent in case of accidents. If you use any controlled medications, either temporarily or continuous usage, or have a history of allergies to any food, drug, or chemical substance, inform the health professional upon your arrival. If you feel ill or suffer an accident, irrespective of how minor, go to the sick bay. Also, avoid self-medication. Smoking is only permitted on board in the locations that are properly designated and equipped with ashtrays. Never forget to put out the cigarette in the ashtray before leaving the location, and remember that smoking is a major risk to your health. During meals, only clean coveralls and clothes are allowed in the mess room. Avoid talking in the serving line and do not take food out of the mess room. Wear clean clothes when using the leisure rooms. To wash your coveralls, put them in the bag labeled with the number of your cabin and place it in the corridor. It will be collected by the staff and returned after washing. When leaving the accommodation area, you must wear full PPE, composed of fire-resistant coveralls, safety helmet with chin strap in place under the chin, safety goggles, boots, gloves, and earplugs. Depending on the activity to be performed, other protective equipment may be required, as indicated by the PTW or safety advisor. Jewelry, watches, and long hair exposed out of the helmet are not permitted outside. Remember, for your safety, do not roll up your coverall sleeves. The organization and cleanliness of your workplace are basic conditions for maintaining quality and safety on board. To start, you must keep in your workplace only the tools and materials essential for the work that is being performed. Organize everything, making easier the work execution, avoiding unnecessary displacements or movements. Respecting barriers is essential. Before starting work, put in place the barrier, and once finished, remove the barrier to provide other people with having access to an inadequate route. Housekeeping should be part of your daily job and not an occasional activity when the environment is dirty or becoming disorganized. At the end of each day, your working area should be clean and everything returned to its appropriate place. No work is so important that it cannot be planned and executed safely. Therefore, before beginning an activity, make sure that you are up to date with your training and verify the need to obtain prior permission for work, PTW. It is crucial that you fulfill your role and follow all of the recommendations contained therein. Upon accessing any equipment, pipe work, in addition to obtaining the necessary PTW, ensure that it is free of residual energies such as pressure, extreme temperature, moving mechanical parts, and especially electrical energy. Do not enter compartments with electrical equipment without the necessary authorization, because in addition to the risk of electrical shock, these areas are normally protected by a carbon dioxide firefighting system. So remember, always keep the doors closed. If you need to access any of these compartments, notify the control room in advance. Look at the warning signs on the entrances of each compartment. If you see an activated light signal, do not enter, since the system is activated. The carbon dioxide is not toxic, but can cause death by asphyxiation. If using portable electrical equipment or electronics, such as flashlights, light fixtures, gauges, computers, or others in the outside area, ensure that they are certified for use in classified areas. Otherwise, you will need a permit and permission to work with a risk evaluation duly issued for such a purpose. Remember, all electric and electronic equipment must be evaluated by a MODEC electrician before use, even if personal in nature. The use of cameras and video cameras on board is allowed only through specific authorization. Attention! On Petrobras units, the use of a cellular phone on board is prohibited. Keep your cell phone sealed away while on board. Always be aware of material handling operations. Do not remain stationary or walk beneath a suspended load. Always observe the isolation signs in these areas. Respect the guidance of the team involved in lifting operations, and wait until the area is safe to access. Another thing, never enter marked environments, such as confined spaces without a specific work permit. Cooperate with this facility's housekeeping and maintenance program, and with the preservation of the environment, discarding waste in the specific bins according to the selective waste collection. These bins are located in various parts of our facility. Disposing of waste directly into the ocean is a crime, and preserving the environment is everybody's duty. Also remember, it is prohibited to fish while on board, since fishing can compromise the safety of divers and our operational activities, such as SW intakes. This facility has an efficient system of automation and specific controls for the safety of individuals, processes, and equipment. This MODEC facility has an emergency plan that includes procedures, material resources, and trained staff to act immediately in emergency situations. Always be ready for a possible emergency situation. Upon hearing the general alarm, which is an intermittent alarm, you will know that an emergency situation is in progress. Immediately stop your activity. Disconnect the machines, equipment, and tools that are in use, and leave the workplace in a safe condition. Go to your muster point wearing PPE and await the instructions. If there is smoke within the accommodation, your cabin is equipped with an emergency escape mask, as well as a life jacket for each occupant. If you are part of the emergency response team, immediately assume your position and your role. Try to remain calm and always travel along the escape routes that are marked on the deck and floor, and should never be obstructed. Obey the signs and safety instructions. Upon arriving at the muster point, place your identification card in the T-card rack and wait quietly for the muster coordinator's instructions while the emergency teams are acting to control the situation. Attention! If the emergency involves your muster point, you should go to the abandonment point that is next to your lifeboat. If the emergency alarm is continuous, this signifies an order to prepare to abandon the facility. In this event, you should go directly to your abandonment point. The lifeboat will be ready for use. If the emergency hinders your access to the abandonment point or your lifeboat is compromised, you will be directed to go to an alternative abandonment point. Upon entering the lifeboat, occupy the furthest seat away from the entry point as possible in order to avoid obstructing the other passenger seats. Buckle your seatbelt and quietly wait for instructions. Another thing, in accordance with international regulations, emergency drills should be performed periodically, in which you must respond as though the emergency were real. And if you see someone in the ocean, do you know what to do? Now keep your eyes on the victim without losing sight of them and yell loudly and repeatedly, "Man overboard! Man overboard! Man overboard!" Next, throw a life-saving buoy to the victim and do not stop yelling, "Man overboard! Man overboard! Man overboard!" Repeat this phrase until someone calls the emergency number and the rescue boat crew goes into action. Before disembarking, go to the helideck receptionist prompted, normally 1 hour before departure, to perform the weighing of bags, and watch the aircraft's safety instructions, which will be used for your transportation to land. MODEC wishes you a safe and efficient workday. Cooperate and participate with us so that we can achieve the highest levels of excellence in quality, health, environment, and safety.